Some heroes walk on four legs. I'm Jason Johnson, founder of Project K9 Hero. Not every retired police K9 or military working dog has a home to go to in retirement. We strive to ensure no hero is left behind. We cover the medical needs of our program members after their faithful service. Our organization also provides a lifetime sanctuary for many of these heroes who may suffer from PTSD. And whenever possible, we find them a forever home. Visit ProjectK9Hero.org to learn how you can help protect those who protected us.
Welcome to Kansas Speedway here, a track known for the high line if you can run it correctly. If you miss it, well, you're in for a treat here today. I will pull up some quick race info there on your screen here. It's the AO2 Cup Series. This is a playoff race towards their championship. I'll be broadcasting 4 of their races left in this season. It's a little bit over a mile and a half, 125 laps. Fuel window, I'm not completely sure. Looks like track won't be too slick. Going to be having to deal with just a little bit of wind, not a lot. So guys will probably have the car under control, but once these cars get loose and you slip those rears, it will get angry at you. But we do have the current points leader in the championship right now. The points have reset, so all these guys that are in there, I will go through the list after I get this interview in, but there's 7 drivers competing for the championship right now, so they're going to have to do good here tonight. You do not want to be in a hole early on. You will figure out really quick that that does not work out at all. We will bring in Frank Zingen here shortly. Give me a minute. Hey, Frank, you got a copy?
Yeah, how you doing?
Man, so you're in the running for the playoffs. You know, how has it gone for you so far, and what do you feel like you have to do here to bring home a win?
Right now it's been going pretty good. It's all about being consistent. I mean, running in the top 10's pretty easy, but you want to get in the top 5 range each week just to get the points because it's ARCA points, so the number margin's pretty small when someone gets some points.
So do you feel like this is a track that suits you, or are you going to pretty much have to go in here kind of just guess where to run, or do you have a plan here tonight so far?
Mile and a halfs they're almost all cookie cutter. Each one has a little bit different, but Chicagoland kind of got lucky there with Rob wrecking through the grass on going into the pit entry. But I'm pretty good at mile and a halfs. I would say they're pretty much my favorite type track.
You know, so is there any driver that you're worried that you're going to have to compete with here tonight, or are you pretty confident in yourself?
I would say every week it's anybody on the Wolfpack. I mean, they practice in it every day almost, and they're a tough bunch of guys to race against.
All right, man. Well, I will let you go, but good luck in the race. Hopefully you can advance your playoff run deeper.
All right, thanks very much.
That's Frank Zingen. The current points, and I say points with an asterisk because the guys in there have reset literally the points. I kid you not, this is what they are. I think it's like, he has like 1,002, then 1,000, 94, 93, 90, 81, 79, 79. We will bring in Brandon Garand. Probably said that name wrong. If I can find him, I do not see him as the problem. I think he's in a place for it. So we'll see if I can get some of these other drivers in here. Chris Mack. Just want to kind of find some other people in here. That being said, I kind of did jump in here a little bit earlier. I think they have a little bit left till they have to go qualify. And after that, they'll go out there. It's 125 laps. I do kind of want to see what this fuel is going to be like, though. That's going to be interesting. You'll learn really quick if you burn up your tires at a track like this, because you're going to be loose. These next gens like to slip and slide. And once those rears get hot, they just don't cool down after that. It's not a fun thing to deal with. As I would get some other people in here. We'll wait because these guys are now going to the qualifying. So I guess we'll just only do that points leader in the points asterisk again for this race. See, it's gonna go completely quiet. Screen's probably gonna, there it goes. Loads into the qualifying session for these guys. I will let you all see what is on that left side. there. But actually, as they were doing that, we'll go a little bit of a side-by-side so I can get this. Actually, we will run this quick VRX ad that I was not able to fit in at the start of it. Well, these guys are doing that.
First corner, driver number 1 looking to the inside of 2. Second place, sets himself up for a pass going into this carousel. Is he going to be able to get his nose in there? Go.
There we go, just fitting that last ad, and we will look at some drivers currently doing their qualifying. This is Larry Murphy right here in the 30 car. Looks like that might be a Hendrick. What's that on his hood? That's something else. It's sponsored by somebody. Would like to see who it is, but not completely sure at this point right now currently for him. He looks like he's actually sitting barely below second right now. His second lap's probably going to be a little bit faster, so he might beat out Brandon on his second one. It just depends on how fast Brandon is. Some guys will be absolutely flying on that second lap if they haven't cooked him, if they didn't burn him off the first lap. But this league is sponsored by, let me pull this up just so I'm completely sure. Out of the Woodcrafts and Riptide Radio. I believe Riptide actually did one of the podcasts that I listened to. They introduced us for some of the league, or not league, some of the races that I'll be doing. Did not expect that. I was reached out to do this, and he said, yeah, I said I can hop in and help you also. Kind of what Ghost has gone, and I do not want to look at plugins SDK. Trying to make that second logo, because that is a small, that is why. Small logo there, so I've fixed that for it. But looks like you still got some drivers out on the track. Max, Zingen. They're actually done with it. Larson is actually out on the track, as Kyle Larson just kind of... He lost today at Phoenix, led about more than 90% of the race, and finished 4th. Got passed by Kevin Harvick, and caution came out. Took 2 tires, got up there with William Byron, and got a good restart the first time. Ty Gibbs drove into the back of somebody. He caused a caution, or kind of got collected and stuff. Nothing he could do. Then after that restart, Byron hung close to Larson on the outside. Larson couldn't slide up, and then that kind of ended Larson's chance of winning the race. I'm a Larson fan, so kind of always made me mad, that's for sure. But y'all are new to Ghost Racing Network. If you don't mind throwing in a subscription, that will help us grow a lot. I'm going to butcher some of these names here. I don't know what it is with me and last names. I'm absolutely horrible. I think these guys have about almost a minute left in their qualifying session. And then after that, they will go to the starting grid. See, it looks like Lomega. Lomaga? Might be Lomaga or Lomega. I think it's Lomaga. There's an O. I'm going to have to guess on these. I think I will have to guess on some of these guys' names. It's like Raposa is out here still qualifying, so I think he's actually... It looks like we might have 2 that are race control, so it looks like these guys are probably going to be everybody that's going to go in there. I believe this is his second lap too, so see if he can get a faster time than what he has. He's not qualified too well. We'll put him on the board. That will only move him up 2 positions, so rough qualifying for him. We're going to have to work his way through the field now. Sometimes that's hard, sometimes it's not. It really just depends on how this track has treated you most of the race. Some tracks will be a little bit better than others on that spectrum. But yeah, they just finished qualifying now, so they will blink off the screen. I will pull up the starting grid here. So David, I'm going to say Lomega first, Nick Larson second, Jason Wiley third, Brandon Garand fourth, Cole Jarrett fifth, Larry Murphy sixth, Art Greco seventh, Greg Dryas eighth, Chris Max, Robert Lowell 10th, 11th, Charlie Dickey 12th, Frank Zingen 13th, Eli Raposa 14th, Jeff Barefoot 15th, Johnny Barker 16th, Aaron Brown 7th, John Bull, and 18th, Matthew Panouf. Hopefully I said that last name right. I think so. It looks like everybody's gridding, so those guys must just decided it's not kind of worth the qualifying effort right now. That's not a bad thing to do at some tracks, but if you don't do it sometimes, you'll find out real quick. You probably should have qualified because you just got to work your way through the whole entire field. And some guys will be a little bit nicer to you getting through it. Some of them will not, however. You will see once all these guys grid they have. So it will blink white for all of them. Want to make sure their paint schemes are loaded in for the race. I know some of them probably do change their paint schemes. It looks like we got one person's paint that is unloaded, so I'll give them another reload again. I always tend to do that when I'm doing stuff like this. I just want to make sure paints are correct for the guys. 125 laps here, though, for these guys, so it's going to be interesting. Not sure what the pit window is. If I had to guess, probably about 40-ish laps, something around there. But you don't want to be you do not want to burn these tires off, because you won't feel it in the corners, but on the straights you will see how you are not able to carry enough speed down it. Getting in, it'll kill you. It will really be a noticeable thing for you, and it will not be fun at all. Pace car pulls off here. David Lomega will lead him to green. Carter has the flag in his hand. And we are underway here at Kansas. They already got Wiley trying to go for the lead here, coming off of 3 and 4. He looks like he will take it there for just half a second. He's going to have to get deep down in the corner as David's going to hang it out. Look at that, running that last groove up there, just wrapping that wall, trying to get as much power down. He's actually going to brush it because he's so close to it. He's just trying to keep the throttle down, and it kind of reached out and bit him that time. That's what happens sometimes when you get up against that wall. You find your little groove that you can get, and you keep pushing, you keep pushing, you keep pushing, you keep trying to find where will it come out and bite me. As we got guys, I think, are bouncing off each other back here. I think that's Larry Murphy and Nick Larson. Yeah, it was Larry Murphy. Larry Murphy might have actually gotten up with Nick Larson a little bit. As the 4 is scraping the wall also, that's Brandon Garon. So try to get a run off the back. I think guys are going to start getting tied if we got somebody loose on the bottom. That was Chris Max got loose. Car wanted to almost snap out from under him. He had to wheel it just a little bit to not drill that outside wall on an overcorrection. Looks like David's finally gotten away from Jason. Jason, he's taking that short way around the track. I mean, he's cutting as close as he can. He's going as low on the track as possible. He just wants to get down there and try to just cut it. He's just trying to cut it at this point right now. And that's what he kind of has to do. Looks like Larry's going to look on Jason. He will get that position, kind of try a little bit of a slide job here, see if he gets it done. You know, he just decides to stay in the middle lane instead. He doesn't want to really go up towards that top line. Got Nick and Jason going side by side back here on each other. Larson's having to run that high line. Jason's trying to get that bottom to work as he bobbles there a little bit, so it's going to hurt his exit quite a tad. The more you wiggle, the more those tires are having to work, and it does not like that. Robert Lowell actually ran the fastest lap of the race right there, a 31:22. That's actually, I thought it was a lot faster than everybody else, but it's only about 300s faster than somebody else in the race currently. I think Panouf, he's not doing so hot right now currently. He's just kind of riding back here. He's not far off the pace either. These guys probably realize it's 125 laps. You know, why do I need to go so hard at this point in the race? And I just don't really see an issue for it. Looks like we got Larry trying to get this lead from David. Murphy's going to try to get that from Lomega. Looks like he will get that position, but Lomega's going to hold it tight in his quarter panel. He's going to try to get up to him. He's going to have to wash up to the wall. Going to have to tuck in behind so he can get a run down the backstretch. Getting a little bit of a peak going into 3 and 4. If he can get him looking, that's what he would like to do. I don't think he'll be able to do it. You see, this is a very overcast track, too. It's not very bright here because the sun's not out. These speeds are going to be picking up pretty fast. Now, the track, oh, he actually bangs it off the wall there. The track is going to change a lot. If the sun comes out, it's going to get a lot slicker. Guys are going to be sliding around a lot more. You're not going to have the same grip as you had before as Larson goes in the wall, trying to get as much as he can. That almost got a little bit too much, as looks like Lowell actually will use him to turn. 8 tires turns better than 4, he says. Bangs off of Larson. He'll get that position from him. Doesn't really pinch him up, kind of runs him down low. We have a pretty even split of Chevys and Fords. There's actually probably more Fords here than anything. That's surprising. Chevys are normally the more dominant car in leagues. People like running them. I like running them in real life too, also. So I do not blame them either, or in the sim. But Larry's getting a nose full of David as the sun. Now you see it. The sun's coming out. The track's going to get slick now in that corner. 3 and 4 looks like it's out. 1 and 2 down the backstretch. Looks like it's still shaded. So 1 and 2 is going to be a little bit tighter. 3 and 4 is going to be a little bit slicker than everywhere else around. So guys are going to have to really figure out what can I do in 3 and 4 that will not make my car snap on me going out of that corner. As he actually wiggles, Larry does, so he's going to have a little bit of a harder time because David's going to have a run on him. Going to take it to the inside. See if he can get deep down in there. He's going to try to pull a little bit of a slide job. And so he'll get that position easily. So we got, that is the 82. No, that's not the 82, sorry. Who is that in front of him? It's a 62 of Zingen. Riding back here. He's up 5 position. Actually, biggest mover. Actually, no, second biggest mover behind Johnny Barker. Currently, he's sitting in 7th. He's trying to get a spot on Robert Lowell. Not really running a certain line. Looks like everybody's kind of running either a top, middle, bottom. They're kind of running wherever they want to. Nobody has one line that they're fully dedicated to at this point right now, and that's not a bad thing. I mean, guys are just kind of venturing around. You can always figure out what your car likes more. If you're loose, run that higher line, let that car chew up that right front so it gets a little bit tighter for you off exit. Some of these guys are definitely off pace. We've got some 32s back here. They're already down to 31:44, so they're not falling off right now. That being said, they're only 12 laps into the race. Lowell's trying to get us, or trying to hold off Larson here. Larson's going to try to get that spot on the bottom. Notice that he's been bottom most of the time. I'm seeing a lot more guys run that top line though, and that's not something that you see commonly because most of the time the sim isn't fully accurate with running the high line. We actually might be able to see the steering input of Larson here. We'll go cockpit with him for a little bit. It looks like David's kind of slowly running away with it right now. He's just kind of inching out. But one thing, too, I will point this out. iRacing has rolled out an update, and I run for Team Watson Racing, but it's changed a lot of the way people drive now. You can't really drive the same because the power band has been reduced about 30, not 30. It used to be like you can rev up to like 9,800 RPM. Now you can only go to 9,100. The power band is a lot smaller, but what that does is that slows guys down a lot faster going into the corners because they're using a lot of that engine braking. So I think this has kind of helped utilize the top line more. As it looks like Larson's trying to make his way up here. He's finally trying to poke his noses. Lowell, he's up 7 positions right now. He started in 10th, so he's had a pretty good race. He brushes the wall there just a little bit, so not what you want to see normally, guys, nicking the wall. If they nick the wall, probably not going to go too good for him. It's a good thing to knock a toe in, knock a toe out, knock something out. I've done that multiple times where I've knocked it out, not broken it, but always makes your steering a lot more difficult, that's for sure. And annoying. Very annoying. One of the hardest things to fix in a car is once your steering wheel is sideways, you are pretty much going to start plowing. It's not going to drive the same way it did before, but Omega, he's trying to get that. He's actually maintained the lead. Garan and Lowell. Like Lowell will actually get that position, so Lowell might be setting sail here soon. He's coming quickly. I mean, he is not slow at all. Gonna be interesting when these guys, because this is where you see who saved their tires. This is where who's burned them off. It's pretty obvious at this point now because it's not easy. You can't really hide it at this point. You're gonna notice it. Some guys will cook them off. Some guys won't cook them off. But if you cook them off, they're gonna show here, and it's gonna show drastically, and I mean drastically for them. Look at Charlie Dickey riding back here. He's trying to get that position on Buell. Got something that's bouncing off the wall there. That might be. Who is that? That was Matthew Fanouve. Nope, actually that was Aaron Brown. Bounced off the wall. Kept it straight there. I wonder what happened to him because I saw him clip that wall just a little bit. He thought that 64 was going to come up into him. Luckily he didn't. Don't see many. They're starting to. So what I'm seeing here is, I want you to kind of watch maybe some of these guys here. Look at Larry Murphy. If I can get a chase view of him, I'm gonna kind of point out something. So not here, but sometimes when he comes off the corner, you can kind of see him shoot down off the exit. If I can get it here. So I want to see if he can run the high. I want to see if I can get him to run that high line. So this is where this is where I'm trying to see it. So he's actually switched up. So let's go to Zingen. He's not doing it either. Oh, is he out of the throttle there? So I'm seeing if I can get somebody, because somebody has been doing it. Like I won't be able to. I'm trying to get. So what I was trying to show you all was there was some people who were kind of pulling the car off the wall. They're not holding a steady exit. And what that means is that right rear is starting to get a little bit hot for them, so it's starting to slip and slide around. They're having to kind of start to adjust their line because of that. And they're figuring out real quick, I probably shouldn't be going as aggressive on it. That right rear has probably started to chatter on him, and it's gotten really hot. And it's not been too kind, but I see 14 of you all in there. Now, who is your pick to win the race here tonight out of the drivers currently? Omega looks like he's setting sail. Lowell, he is up on that wall. I mean, he is. I tell you what, I love seeing people rip the wall. It's always something cool to see. As that, now that's not what you want to do is do that right there. If you get in the wall, Luckily, that's not going to hurt him. It will scrub off some time, though, because he did nick it just a tad. That always happens. Eli Raposa is trying to pick his way through the field here. Looks like he's going to actually try to get 2 and 1. That's Max on the outside of him and Barker behind him. I think I might have said Baker at the start. Sorry if I did. Barker, yeah. Looks like he will get that position. He's up 4. Zingen, he is up 7. Well, Lowell is up 8. Looking at his lap time, too. I mean, they're all pretty close, the top 4. The biggest variation is really 0.12. That's Lowell, but he did get in the wall the last lap, so I'm not going to count that lap against him. That always happens. Drivers just, they nick it, and it won't turn very well after that. It's kind of wants to start to, you kind of got to pull it off. I kind of say in iRacing, the wall is almost like super glue. But once you get stuck to it, that car will not come off, and it just wants to plow. As there we go. See if he can pull it off the wall here. That's Barker as he gets it off of it finally, but the next gens aren't that bad with wanting to come off the wall. Now the ARCA cars are horrible with it. You get stuck in the wall and it literally grabs a hold of you and will not let go, as Dickey will get that spot on Raposa. As he's moving up here slowly. The biggest loser right now is Jason Wiley. He's lost 9 positions from where he qualified. He's not had a good start so far in the Steel Series. Ford Mustang there. If it was a Camaro, this wouldn't be happening. Switch to Camaros. Oh, well, oh gosh, he's up against that wall. I think he did it there finally. He wiggled off it because he has been up there on it. And I think that right rear is not too happy. It's probably a little bit mad. And I would not be surprised if it is, because once it gets angry real quick. One thing about these cars, they are very unforgiving. Once you slip that rear, it just does not. Want to cool down. Let's see so far what we have lap time wise. So the closest person to Lomega is Nick Larson, 32.55 to a 32.50. So he's close. I just don't know if he can get there in time to him. It's going to be, I mean, he's losing a little bit of time, but he is catching a draft from Lowell. Lowell, I think, yeah, he's made those tires. There he goes in the wall again. That's not going to help you. Nicking that wall will never be good. It's something that you will find out real quick. Yeah, this car doesn't really like that. They're built like a tank, though. I will give them that. As yeah, those tires, right front, very well may be cooked off of that Ford. It is not. It doesn't seem like it's turning very well at all for him anymore. That's Wiley. Looks like he's actually going out to the bottom there, continuing to lose positions. Jeff Barefoot trying to go around him on the Riptide radio. Paint scheme there. They'll slide up behind Wiley. Actually take the kind of a little bit of a run that he has instead. I'm just going to go around you now at this point. See what happens. As these guys have gotten to lap 33 in the race, though, we will take our first commercial break. as we are back here at Kansas. 38 laps into the run currently. Pit stops might be happening somewhat soon here for these guys. Not completely sure. Let me see if I can find some race info here. I'm not completely sure. I'm thinking 50-ish laps on fuel. So guys might be getting near their fuel window, kind of on the very edge of it, maybe pushing it a little bit now. Might be a 2 pit stop race. If it is, that'd be pretty cool. I do like that a lot. When it's a 2 pit stop race, that's kind of how A opens go most. Well, I say most of the time. That's how A opens tend to go, I'd say. The exit might have gotten a little bit loose as we have a caution on the track. What has happened here? It's very well maybe a stage for these guys. Yeah, it looks like. Yeah, it looks like. So they do have stages in this league. Did not know that. Again, I'm new to this league. Yeah, this is a stage right here for these guys. So, yeah. Nobody's spun. Nobody has spun. Track, so they're going to have to catch the pace car here again. Now we're going to have some guys get all that optional damage fixed from hitting the wall just a little bit. I'm somebody, even if it's just like 20 seconds, you know, you're 41 laps into the race. Go ahead and get it fixed. It can't hurt you. It can only help you if you get it fixed after that. Very few times has it actually hurt when you get your damage fixed. I guess, well, I don't know. Sometimes it will. Nah, it's actually always going to hurt you. Don't listen to me. I'm lying. Everybody's going to be down pit road. Nobody will be staying out. So no people will be taking the wave around either. So they should be good. Art Greco pulling in. He won at Chevy Camaro. You want to see how do these guys get out? Because this could be a big thing here. Pit road could be a game changer. We saw this might be an identical stop from Larson and Lomega. Oh my gosh. So, okay, I'm going to read off the pit times for you. So, wait, what? Okay, this is actually insane. I want to see if I can show you all the pit road. Oh my gosh, I need to show you all this here. This is absolutely amazing. And it's something really... Lap time. See if I can get that there. I can't. That's not it either. I mean, so I'm going to read this off here. So you saw Lomega and Larson there on pit road. They had the exact same time in their pit stall. 15:07. Lomega was faster down pit road overall. He used a 46:28. Larson was a 46:87. But then we had two guys tie on their total time down pit road. That was Murphy and Girat, 47:18. Murphy was faster in the pits than Girat, however, at 10. I've never saw some people match on their pit stall times. That is probably the first time I've ever saw that. That's not what I need there either, so... That was, I've never saw it happen before. But lights are off in the pace car, it will pull off this time by, these guys will be getting the green flag here. Lomega, Larson, Lowell, Girat, Murphy, the top 5 drivers right now. Had to guess another stage at lap 80 here. Pace car pulls off, however. Starter's going to have the flag in his hand. As green flag is in the air, Larson does not get a good jump at all. Oh, we got somebody who just nailed that wall. Who was that? That was the NASCAR of John Buell. He pounded that wall coming out of 3 and 4. He will go through the grass. I mean, he nailed that going hard. That might have knocked his toe in from how hard he hit it. We will go back and see what happened with him too, because that was a hard hit. Oh, he actually steps out on him, so he gets loose on that top line. Just barely overcorrects it. Counter steers it, and yeah, he has to go through the grass, but that was a hard, that wasn't a bad overcorrection, but you could see that he just a tad over. That was a hard hit for him. I do not want to see that ever happen to some drivers. As I'm noticing that too, drivers going through corners, I kind of hear like a weird feathering of the throttle before they get in there. I'm not sure if that's the rev limiter or if that's something else that they're hitting, but I keep hearing that multiple times over and over again as Murphy will put himself in the wall. Gets a little bit too high. That'll open the door for Larson to take that second position from him pretty easily. Lowell will be lurking in the shadows as he always has. Seems this whole entire run for him. He's just been kind of there on somebody. We want to see if some guys can rebound a little bit better. That's Zingen. He is the points leader in asterisks. His points have reset for all these guys, so they are all pretty equal in everything there for him. As real life news, William Byron was the driver that won the Phoenix race today. He went back-to-back, beat Larson out again, so great. Omega, he's just kind of looking at Larson's rearview mirror, getting a little bit smaller every time. I do want to see if somebody saves a little bit better. Raposa almost ran the identical. Andreas actually ran a little bit faster. He does have some drafting help, so he's got that dirty air too. So it's not good for the car sometimes, but it is fun to pick to the pack. I'll give him that. Always fun to do that. Sort your way through it. You're gonna have to deal with some traffic, but some guys luckily won't clean you out. Not had anybody. Well, I'm not even gonna say it because they will after that. I'm just gonna not even gonna say it because they'll do it. Raposa's running that hot line. I do think this is probably burning off these right front tires from him. It's not good to be turning off that right front all the time. It'll work, but it'll only work for a certain amount of time, because once you get it hot, you can't really cool it down. I mean, you got to back up forever. These guys are around Zingen. That's the 88 of Cole Girat going down to the bottom. So got a little bit of a pack here. Eli Raposa. Girat's going to plow a little bit, go up the track some. Luckily not nick him and wreck him as he's going to try to get to the quarter panel. He's going to have to tuck in. Girat's going to go down to the bottom. Zingen will too. Raposa, he's sending it in there. Almost hits the wall. He's so high on it. He's going to get a pretty big run off that corner from that move as he's trying to get to the outside of the 88. He's going to cut down below him. Try to get him going into 3 and 4, and that will not work quite just yet because he didn't have a big enough run to get even with him. Actually, he will clear him coming out there. I mean, said Girat could have given him the position. Saw, hey, you want it a little bit more than me as we almost got 2 guys touched there. That was a 13 of Wiley. I think Barker touched him just a tad, or Wiley might have squeezed him a little bit. I don't think he knew he was there. Spotter probably didn't say anything to him, and that's not good when your spotter's not talking to you. You got no clue what's going on half the time. You're like, I'm just trying not to wreck out here, y'all. John Buell, yeah, he had the damage. Let's go and see how bad his damage is. Oh, that is not good. That's pretty bad. Oh, yeah, so you see that piece of tape right there? That should be in the middle going down the back stretch or front stretch. His is to the right. So his car is probably pulling to the left. Because look right here. Yep, that car is pulling to the left. It's not wanting to go straight, so he's having to counter steer it. Just going down the back stretch, and that's not what you want to see from a car when you're driving it. If it's counter steering, yeah, that's not too good at all. So far, it's calmed out now. Omega, he's just running, I mean, he's just turning laps faster than everybody else on the track right now. So, he's going to be the driver to catch. I don't have any doubt about that, but Larson's lurking there on him. Larson is within the distance that he can get a little bit of a draft off of the back of Lomega. Lowell can't quite yet get one. He's going to be trying to, though, but 6/10 is when you can pick up a little bit of a draft. You ideally want to stay close to a guy because the closer you can be, the better it is overall. Well, I say that. It depends really sometimes. We got the 88, nicks the wall there just a little bit. 621, that's Greco and Dreas. Guys, just struggling. Looks like these cars are pretty stable too. That's one thing that I've noticed about the update. These cars are pretty hard to really kick out from under you. They won't really move off the ground. They just kind of sit there. They don't move, which is a good and bad thing. Some people like when they move around, some people don't. Kind of a whatever thing for him. As Barker's going to try to get the spot on Raposa, he'll go up under him and he will get that one from him, so he can't do anything about that. I thought for a minute he couldn't do it. Raposa's going to have a little bit of a run coming down here, but he can't do anything with it because he's not close enough. But looks like we got Zingen trying to go up here now under the 30th. Larry Murphy. He's trying to get clear. He's not quite clear. He's going to squeeze up right in front of Murphy. Take that position from him. I'm going to ride it into 3 and 4. I'm going to wrap that high line more than anything else. Just stay up there with him. Somebody might have bounced off the wall there. Did not look too good for those guys. It looks like we got some. These guys are definitely rookies. Barefoot. Well, I say rookies. Like they're newer tire racing than most people are. As Lowell is actually catching Larson, and he's been running faster lap times than Lomega. He's been running 31.87 compared to a 32 flat. So he's about a little bit over a tenth faster. I do want to see. I mean, oh, he might have nicked the wall there. He's definitely coming. I mean, he's going to be running right up on the bumper of Larson. It's going to get him tight because he can't really pull that wheel down as much as he needs to. He will get that position, though, from him. Let's see. How quickly can he catch him? I think Lowell might have something for Lomega this race. Looking at how he's been running. But now he doesn't have the drafting help of the car in front of him. So it's going to be... Was it the draft that was helping him, or is that pure speed that he was just showing there? We're going to have to find out now. As Lomega looks like he just barely stretches it on him. I thought he got a little bit loose there. He doesn't kick out on him. Pretty clean racing so far. We got somebody trying to do a 3-wide move. They thought about it. That was Barefoot. Barefoot looked. I mean, I saw him peek his head out there. He was thinking, do I go 3-wide here? Decided better of it. It's only a little bit past halfway right now in the race, so no harm, no foul in not putting it 3-wide. If you put it 3-wide, probably not going to go well. It'll go really bad sometimes, so figure that out. If you get in the A open, it seems like people just want to send it in that corner, and then wrecking, you're like, well, I can't figure out why I'm wrecked. Yeah. If y'all are new to Ghost Racing Network, if you don't mind throwing in a subscription, that will help us grow at 572. You can always take it back. I will be doing the last 4 races along with another broadcaster for this league. I have Iron Thunder tomorrow, the Rush Series, and I got the Premier Series. Austin has Fast Track Sim Racing on Monday also. Tend to do a lot of broadcasts. A lot of them are kind of pickups, I'd say. A broadcast as Lowell, as I've been talking and rambling on. He's been catching Lomega here. But have Lomega's tires started to fall off? They might be coming back to him. He kind of wants him to go away. He might be getting tight because he's running about a lane lower than Lowell. As Lowell, oh, he's catching him. He is catching him. He's in the draft, too. I say that. He's about in the draft. He's so close to the draft of Lomega. It's very, very close right now. It's going to be close. He's got about a tenth more is what he needs to get on for closer to Lomega to be able to get a draft from him. He just can't get it where he is right now currently. As Barker's down pit road, he entered pits on his own there, so maybe a strategy call there from him. Not completely sure as Lowell. So one thing I keep noticing with Lowell though, he keeps getting close, but then he nicks the wall and it kills all the time that he just spent chasing him down. As he's actually in the draft of him, he's right on the edge of the draft as he just sails him in that corner. He just hopes it sticks. It's kind of fun watching him run that high line though. He's getting close to the wall. And running the wall, you have very little room for error. You don't have much room you can mess up. If you mess up, you're going to find out real quick like that it doesn't really bode too well for you. You'll find out you probably shouldn't be touching it. Brown back here, he's been riding. He's where he qualified. He's not had the speed here today, it seems. Lowell and Zingen. Zingen are two biggest movers. Lowell 8, Zingen 7th. Banoof, he is up 4 positions, but Lomega, yeah. This is getting... Oh, okay. There's wall ride there. All right, Chastain. As they're going to be run up on the lap car. The 47... Oh, gosh. Uh-oh. That's going to open the door now. 47 peeled it off the wall. I don't think they realized that steering's broken on the 47. He probably did not mean to do that. He can't turn like everyone else can. He's just trying to get out the way. And didn't realize that. But that's going to bring Lowell even closer to Lomega. Lowell, if he can minimize the amount of times he gets in the wall, it seems when that really kills him. He gets so close, he sees the lead, and he gets in the wall, and he loses all that time that he just gained on him. He's got to quit making that mistake. If he can stop doing that, I think he has a pretty good chance of taking home the win. Looking at how strong he is, I just don't see really anybody catching him right now. But that can change in the blink of an eye, that's for sure. He's gonna get tight though. Somebody's got to deal with. He's got to find a way. He's got to get a nose. If he can just get a nose, as John Buell. Yeah, he's entered the pit road. He's realized this car is kind of junk. Can't really do much with it. But this is where it gets difficult now. Lowell, he has to find a way around Lomega. He has to get him moving. He's got to get him. He's got to get him off the track somewhere. He's got to do something to get that line that he wants. He's going to get in the wall again. Actually kind of use it to turn. Surprisingly, actually gain time on that. I don't think he's meaning to do that either. I mean, he's just so close to it. He's just trying not to wreck us. He's going to get a pretty decent exit. Not going to have it pinched off here. So that'll get him within 2/10 of Lomega. And Lowell is on the back bumper of him now. Lomega's going to start having to look in his rearview mirror. He's going to have a full view of that 21 here really soon. I think Lowell's going to have to try the pass on the bottom because he cannot get to the top. If he's going to nick the wall there, it's going to hurt him even more. Going to lose all that time that he just shaved off on Lomega and almost lose the draft of him because of him bouncing off the wall. It's not good for him. Throughout the pack here, though, looks like everybody else is kind of just fanned out. Nobody's really aggressive with each other. We'll have to see on lap 80 if they have another caution. I do think they will, because that will probably be the stage break. I didn't know they had stages here, unless I just wasn't paying attention and there was somebody wrecking the track. I don't think there was, though, but you see how the sun in 3 and 4 has now gone away again, so it's now overcast on the track also. We've definitely saw our fair share of guys getting in the wall, though, that's for sure. They have not shied away from seeing if that wall can take the hits from him. He's going to nick it there again. As Zingen, he is still on the move right now. He's up 9 positions. He just got around Larson for 3rd. Larson dropping some positions. He's down 2 where he started. So not a bad day for him so far. We did talk to Zingen earlier before the race started. That was in his qualifying session as we have somebody shoot down pit road. That was Lowell. So they might not have a stage here soon, or he might be just pitting right before the stage break. I'm not sure if they have it. We'll have to see how long he stays on pit road. No, he's going to be trying to get in there. Fast in, fast out, 4 tires fuel. And we are gone after that. That was 4 tires and wait. Okay. He just had the exact same pit stop time as what he had last time. Oh no, you're not supposed to do that though. That might be a black flag. Not supposed to come off the track. As he had a 15:07, that is exactly what he got last time too. Have to see if he has to come back down, but Larson's in. He's going to bring Garand. Wiley, Murphy are also in. as that's a missed pit stop for Raposa, as, yeah, he's going to have to go back around. He missed that. He overshot that heavily. I guess this very well is probably the last pit stop of the race. Lomega is coming in. See, Zingen comes in. Zingen will not be coming in this time. He'll be waiting one more lap. Lomega will be waiting another lap too. Let's see how these guys get out of pit lane. Got to be clean in, clean out. This is when it matters. Don't want to slide too far in your box. Don't want to slide too shallow in your box. As it looks like that's actually a... What is Larson doing here? He might have got a penalty coming down pit road because he's still in his pit stall. That is not what you want to see as barefoot. Raposa doesn't miss it this time. He absolutely blew it the first time. He's just trying to get all he can. I've done that multiple times too, where you're like, "Ooh, somebody's around," I think. Yep, that's the... Oh, no. Lomega, what happened to you? That's a downshift. He downshifted here. We're going to go cockpit view. Guarantee you it's a downshift that happened. Nope, it just snapped. That's weird. That just snapped on him. Actually, that does sound like a downshift. I just don't think that... That looks like a downshift because of how fast he spun around. So that's going to change everything. The Omega just lost the lead. Zingen has yet to come in. So Lowell, he's on new tires. Garand is on new tires. Zingen, the top 5 have yet to come in. Now it's going to get interesting. This is going to get real interesting for these guys. Pit road mistake, because I was just talking about it. As Matthew Fanuf, he's in. So if I had to guess, Zingen, he's going to run it dry. What he's going to do, never mind, he's actually coming down pit road. I'll take that back. He's coming down pit road this time by. Going to bring Jarrett in with him. That'll leave Max and Dickey, the 2 drivers that haven't pitted. I can already see that they're tight. They're not being able to turn down to the bottom like they need to. That's what happens when you get old tires and that right front's gone. It won't turn. Starts to plow. And you're just stuck to the point where you're trying, and you're putting so much wheel into it, and it's just not reacting. And it's one thing that drivers are like, you got to be kidding me, because you're trying to turn it, this won't go. But Zingen, he will win that, not win the. Actually, he will win that race off pit road over Jarrett. They'll race out of that. Hopefully, we do not see what happened with Lowell. I'm curious about how these tires are going to play out, though. But Dickey has yet to pit. Dickey's probably running this till it's dry. So he's up 10 positions, qualified 11th. So he's not had the speed. He's probably hoping for a caution to happen so he can go down and get 4 tires and fuel, because he's not going to be able to make it to the end, that's for sure. He would also trap 6 on back, being a lap down, because the 5th place driver would get the lucky dog. I think he's coming this time, though, because he's staying low on the track. We'll have to see if he is, see what Dickey does. I think he's slowing down here. Nope, he's still going there, so he's going to keep going around. I think he's just hoping for caution. He's hoping and praying. But Barker hit it on lap 67. But he's got Lowell right behind him. So probably not going to end up well for him. Lowell, he's got 11 lap pressure tires, so he will just blow by him at this point. as Lomega just ran. Oh my gosh, he just ran a fast lap. Lomega pretty much just ran a qualifying lap. A 31:12 is what he ran. That's the fastest lap overall, as I think that he's actually trapped 2 laps down. So his race is probably over. I don't see him posing a threat to really anyone. As, yep, Dickey finally comes down pit. Oh, he just blew. Oh, can you get down to the commitment cone? He's not going to be able to. That's the unsafe pit entry for him. For him, that will be a black flag. Tried to get down to it. This was too hot coming in. Rest tires, or old tires, they don't turn. They do not turn. So now that was everybody that's gone down pit road, we will take a commercial break here. That will be our final one.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point. Make you feel like you're really driving, it feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
As we are back here at Kansas, a little bit less than, actually, gonna be 30. I get this number right here. It'll be close to 30 laps left in the race here now. I can't do math. Apparently, 28 laps. So Lowell, he's leading. I am kind of looking. Never mind, I'm not looking at Zingen. I was looking at Zingen here for potential kind of upset, but I don't think he can chase him down. He's 11 seconds back. He does have over 25 laps to do it, though, and he has 7-lap fresher tires. So it might be possible he's going to wrap that bottom. I do think we might have Murphy and Wiley starting at it here soon. These guys are close to each other. Now these two might go at it. Oh, he got the 47 bounces off the wall again. That's Buell. Buell has had a rough night. It doesn't damage his car that time though, but he's not had a night that's good for him. He overcorrected, as in didn't really overcorrect hard, and killed his toe, knocked it out. No, guess that'd be out. So it was pointing to, that'd be in. Actually, sorry, in, because it was pointing towards the left, having to counter steer the whole time. I think he just got that fixed, and he gets on the wall again. But what's happened to Zingen, this is not what he wants to see. He wants some help from these guys. He's probably looking in his... It's probably like, you got to be kidding me, but he might start shoving this 88 in front of him, try to get him out in front of him just a little bit. Think right, looking at lap, he might have a shot. I mean, I don't know. Looking at times, they're running 31.8s, 31.7s, and you've got guys up here running 32.4s. So I think there's a possibility. It's a very slim one that they could catch him because they've got 24 laps left to do it. I just don't know for sure if they can. I mean, it's going to be close. I think it might be close between these two guys. Now, if a caution comes out, going to pull a Phoenix move or a Larson move last week, whichever you want to call it, have a caution come out with 5 laps. It's going to change a lot, but we have saw Lowell. He's been getting into the wall pretty often, running as high as he is. He's just been tapping it every now and then. If he eliminates those mistakes, I think he's going to be fine. But Zingen's actually fallen back from Gerard a lot here. Now, Gerard could be also just sailing it off into the corners. And I'm hoping that it sticks. That might be what he's doing, as he's going to get that spot on Garan. Garan's going to fight him for it a little bit. Not going to give it up. I do like to see drivers race for positions. That's something I always do enjoy seeing. Don't give it up. Race them. It's NASCAR. We got some guys going side by side. I think that's Wiley. Yeah, Wiley's down 3 positions from where he started. Interesting for sure coming up here. So there's Zingen. He's going to get to probably about 3rd. I think he'll probably get to 3rd. Garand or Gerard, I don't think he can really get any farther than where he is right now. He's just kind of stuck in the middle of no man's land. If he could have somebody to draft off of, he'd probably enjoy that, but he's just kind of like, he's kind of stuck here. Can't really go anywhere. you kidding me? Wait, I'm just looking at this again. So we had 2 guys do the same pit time, Murphy and Wiley. 3 guys, Gerard, Wiley, and Murphy had the same pit time. And pretty close on pit lane time. That is, I cannot believe that. This is where they kind of get to the later stages. This is where Lowell, he's just riding to where he's like, I'm not trying to push so hard. Greco's down pit road. Not sure why. I have to see what brought him down there to get his stuff fixed up for him. Ever see a driver down pit road? He hangs it out there. Just kind of watching guys go by him. Now, this is not hurting me. Oh, Gerard is catching him, though. 8 seconds. 8.5 seconds now. So I might have said something a little bit too early. He could be catching him here soon. It is a big possibility. Oh, don't count him out as we got... That was barefoot. Slammed that wall. Tail whipped it coming out of it. But, I'm going to show you this right here. You can see Gerard, he's gaining time. And he's coming. That was 6/10 that lap. That was 6/10 last lap. That was 4/10 this lap that he just crossed. That was actually 5/10. He is, oh, he's going to catch him. I think Gerard might catch him. It's going to be close if he does. I know he's pushing because he sees Lowell, but Lowell, he keeps hitting the wall, I think. That's what he's doing. That's what's hurting him. If he just stops touching the wall, he'll be fine. Just all the time, he just seems to be nicking it every now and then. And it slows you down so much, you just can't turn anymore. I think he's coming down pit road again. He's had a rough night. He's not had a good night for him so far. He's been struggling, that's for sure. I kind of feel bad for him. I have some races where I'm like, man, I cannot get anything to go right, and I think that's what he's had to deal with right now. Yeah, Buell's down pit road. So looking at lap times, 7 seconds, 12 laps. That's about a little bit less than, a little bit more than half a second a lap, but he's got nobody near him. So it's going to be hard for him to gain anything on anybody because of that. When you're alone, it's very, very hard to do that. I did get a little bit of a draft there from the one of Greco, but I don't think he can get there. Yeah, he's actually lost time now. But now that these guys are within 10 to go, we will do on board here with the top 3 drivers for a single lap here, starting with Robert Lowell. looks like it will be probably Lowell. If he doesn't make a big mistake, it's going to be iffy. I mean, it's definitely going to be iffy. If Lowell, he'll have to get in the wall about 5 times. I mean, he's not going to slow down that much. But it's just how pushy does he get with getting on that wall? If I was him, I'd almost be staying away from that wall. I mean, I'd be far, far away from that thing. I would not want to be anywhere near it because it just latches onto you. It'll keep hold. That is for sure. I think Lowell, unless we got a caution that comes out, it'll be Lowell. He'll take home this win here, no doubt about it. I mean, he's so far ahead. He's 7 seconds ahead. And I thought that Gerard had a chance, but Gerard actually might have to deal with Zingen here real soon. Zingen is 4 seconds, actually 2 tenths back behind Tim. He's coming. I mean, he is going to be fast. Now, this lap car could mess him up, though, so he's got to be careful about that. If that lap car messes him up, he will probably have one very unhappy driver, that's for sure. Well, he's got to go around there. There he goes in the wall again. Saw him tap the wall a lot here tonight. It seems like he's not a stranger to it at all. He's been nipping it every now and then. Hasn't destroyed his car, luckily. I say luckily because most of the times when you hit it, that car wants to kind of just fall apart after that. It just kind of breaks. This was the old Gen 6s. Gosh, you would be out of the race because of that. They were so aerotight. The white flag is in the air for Robert Lowell. Down the back stretch, he's going to go into 3 and 4 here. Robert Lowell has been nipping the wall the whole entire night. Lomega messed up on pit road, got him a lap down, but it will be Robert Lowell. He will come out of 3 and 4, and he will win here at Kansas. Zingen, he does get that position on Gerard for second, and Gerard, he will come home third instead. Still a top 5 finish for him. Baron looks like he will come home fourth. Murphy will come home 5th. But Lowell kind of had almost a gift to him because Lomega messed up coming on the pit road, downshifted when he shouldn't have, and it just shot that car around, and it did not like that one bit for him. And that's just, it happens all the time. Guys just make a little mistake here and there, and it'll bite you. It will really bite you after that. Watch him burn it down, though. If he does decide to burn it down, he's going to sit here for a little bit, probably watching the broadcast back. Car is still running. That's what you hear that hum for. As he actually just tows it off there, so that was surprising. That's the second place driver, but go to a blimp static view and pull up the race results for you all. Let me go up here and change this, however, so this logo is not wanting to say hey to me. So you do see the race results up on the screen for you also. While I'm changing that, yeah, there we go. It made it a little bit smaller. That's what I wanted to do. But we will bring in the top 3, if I can grab one of them. We do have 2 drivers working with that. So we will actually bring in the 3rd place driver and Cole Girat here. Hey, Cole, this is Bryson Booth. Got a copy, man?
Oh, yeah, I got you.
And so you come home 3rd, you fall just a little bit short here, but how did the race go for you overall? How did that car feel out there for you?
Car felt great. Everybody was complaining of burning their tires up. At the comp caution, I had 55% left on my right front. I mean, I feel like I had a good car, just a little bit poor on the pit strategy.
And so do you feel like that new update kind of maybe played into some of those guys burning their right front off? Because I've heard that it's more right front heavy than the other update that was out.
Possibly, but I'm a long run person anyway. I've always been really good on long runs, so it might help me in the long run.
Yeah, it seems like I'm more of a long run driver too. Just it's kind of how I am. But did you feel like there was like what do you think you needed? Did you need a caution? Like what did you think you needed just a little bit more of to take home the win here, even though you finished third?
Luck. I needed luck on my side.
I mean,
And a splash of gas would have been nice. I ran out going into 2 after the checkered.
well, I mean, luck's definitely a big part of racing. But before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
Oh, just the whole Penny Stackers team, man. We've been messing with the dirt car all week, and I didn't make my first lap around this track until about 6 o'clock tonight. So they helped me out a little bit, give me a good line to run, and I just told them how to save tires.
Yeah, I mean that definitely works. Sometimes you just jump in there and see what happens. But good job, man. Good third place finish tonight.
All right, appreciate it. See y'all next weekend.
That was the third place driver in Cole Girat. We will bring in the second place driver, a playoff driver in Frank Zingen. Hey Frank, this is Bryson Booth. Got a copy, man?
Yeah, how you doing, Bruce?
Man, so you followed just a little bit short. You come home second, but how did the race go for you overall, and how did that car feel for you? Was it loose, tight? Just describe that for us if you can.
Well, the car was absolute junk until after that comp caution. My tires were down to 18% on the right front, which is terrible. After a terrible qualifying job by me, having to deal with all the cars. But thankfully, Cole told me how to race the track, and I got my tires figured out and was able to kind of lay back and pass some cars later in the run.
It definitely seems like it. Even with me too, it takes a little bit for me to learn to kind of how to run the track. But towards the end of that race, did you feel like there was anything you could have done differently to put you in a better position, or was pretty much Rob and the Omega the two drivers tonight that seems like nobody was able to catch?
I could have pitted probably 2 laps earlier, and my tires would have been a little bit fresher, and I could have caught Rob or not gave up as much time as I did on the long run. But I mean, other than that, there was really no catching Rob once he had the 11-second lead, and then he was just trying to save gas.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it's just kind of like, well, it's done and over with. But you are in the playoffs. How does the second place finish help you? Does this really like kind of calm you, knowing that you don't have to work super hard now?
Yeah, it's a lot better going into Talladega next week, knowing if I finish in the bag, it's not as bad. I mean, I was kind of nervous there until after that comp caution when I was running 9th, 10th. I didn't want to be there.
Yeah, that's definitely not where you want to be running. But before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
Yeah, I give a shout out to my sponsor, Out of the Woods Crafts. We do all crafts needs for like sports and any kind of racing. I make the plaque for this year for the championship. And then just my family for watching.
All right, man. Well, I will let you go. Good second place finish tonight, though, man.
All right, thanks a lot.
That was Frank Zingen, the second place driver. We'll bring in the race winner. And wait, where's he at? Oh, there he is. I literally looked right over him. I cannot believe I did that. Hey, Rob, this is Bryson Booth. Got a copy, man?
Hey, Bryce. How you doing?
So you come home with the win here. How did the race go for you overall? Because it seems like you were knocking down that wall sometimes, but the car was still good for you. But how did it feel overall for you, man?
It was a tale of 2 races. The first half, I couldn't stay on the wall. Something went on. So all week we practiced. We had league practices and team practices, and the car was super tight. And we all learned how to drive that. And we had league practice Monday night with the old car, well, the old model car tires setups, and then Tuesday the update dropped, and the car felt like it did tonight. And then they had to tweak on Wednesday, and a couple things updated. And one of them was the next gen car, and then the car was tight again all week. And we logged on the practice session for this session, and everyone's like, hey, it's really loose. I'm tacking out 3/4 way down the front stretch. And like pounding the chip the last 2-3 seconds you're on the gas in the front stretch. And that's the way it was that on Tuesday night. So we kind of all had to learn how to drive the car as the race went, and I kept trying to use the marks I had worked all week on early, and I kept pounding the wall. It just wouldn't do it. And then got in a second, followed my teammate Dave there, and I still get on the wall every once in a while. And then I got into real hard on lap 73, coming to 74, and I had a wheel vibration. And our plan was to pit on 80 together. And I told him, I said, I got to go now, Dave. I got a bad wheel vibration. My wheel's off, quarter turn to the left. And I ducked in, and I knew I could go 45 laps. I knew I could go make it 46, and came out, got going, and I said, well, I'm going to go hard for 20 laps, try to build what lead they can while those guys are out on old tires for 6-7 laps. And then Dave did what Johnny and I both did. Johnny Barker's one of my other teammates. Last week at Chicagoland, we were 1-2, dominating the race, and we both spun coming to pit road and then picked up a speeding penalty. And same thing happened to Dave tonight. So I just came out after that and went hard for 20 laps, and then about lap 100, I went 10 laps saving fuel to get my lap I needed, and then I went back hard again for the last 15 or so, and it worked out for me.
Yeah, so were you nervous about Frank or one of those guys catching you because they had a little bit fresher tires, or were you pretty much just kind of in your own zip code at that point? Because they had about 7 lap fresher tires on you.
So I wasn't. This may sound arrogant or conceited, but I wasn't worried about it. I knew from the first 2 tire runs, they dropped off the last 10 lap of a run. And they dropped off quite a bit from Dave and I. And I knew that I'd abused my tires the first run to get up into third. And then I abused them pretty hard to stay up with Dave. I wanted to stay out of the rat's nest behind us. So I said, I'll just go hard here this first sprint after the comp, let us get some separation. And then the last segment, my plan was to save for 30 laps and then race Dave the last 10. But no, I at that point, when you got a 9-second lead, you just gap manage, I managed the gap and knew I could give up 2 or 3 seconds to save my lap of fuel. And it was down to like 6.9 when it clicked that I had enough fuel to make it the rest of the way. And I think I drove back like a 7.5 second lead. So I wasn't worried about that. I was worried about a caution coming out. I didn't want a caution to come out, everyone to go get tires, and then you're in a knife fight, That was my worry.
Oh, yeah, it seems like that's been happening a lot too in real life. But before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank, any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank Riptide Radio. They're our series sponsor. They're sponsoring our Chase the Championship. That's Jeff Barefoot. I want to thank Out of the Woods Crafts, Frank Zingen. He is sponsoring the season-ending championship trophy. He's leading the points, so who knows? He might get to save on the cost of shipping and handling there to ship that to somebody. And then Greg Drace at 7 Plus Photography. I want to thank him. He's one of our series sponsors. And then last but not least, Dave Lamaga of DOT Designs. He does the paint schemes for the whole Wolfpack team. And he did the paint schemes for the entire league for our throwback race a month and a half ago. So thank all our sponsors. I want to thank Doug Shaver. Shout out to Doug. He's one of our racers. He's taking some time off. He's having some respiratory issues, but he's sponsoring our Rookie of the Year battle. That's $30 to the winner of the Rookie of the Year. So thank the series sponsors. I want to thank you, Bryce, for coming off the last 4 races of the season. I'm looking forward to watching the broadcast later tonight. And thank everyone in the league. This is the second race in a row that we've gone 1 caution, that's being the comp caution. And Kansas ain't an easy place to do that with everyone fighting for the same line. So thanks to all the racers.
All right, man, I will let you go. Good job tonight. Go celebrate that victory.
Yeah, I'm going to go to bed. My alarm goes off at 3. Have a good night.
As that was the race winner and Rob Lowell. We'll go over the finishing order here, as I do not need to open Steam. I'm not playing a video game yet. So Rob Lowell first, Frank Zingen second, Cole Giroux third, fourth, Brandon Guerin, fifth, Larry Murphy, sixth, Jason Wiley, seventh, Chris Max, eighth, Greg Dryas, ninth, Eli Raposa, 10th, Johnny Barker, 11th, Nick Larson, 12th, David Lomega, 13th, Charlie Dickey, 14th, Art Greco, 15th, Matthew Fanoof, 16th, Jeff Barefoot, 17th, John Buell, and 18th was Aaron Brown tonight. So not a bad race overall. Definitely pretty good to watch. They will be going to, let me go to schedule. Next race will be at, oh gosh, it's going to be at Talladega. 85 laps during the day. Will be on Ghost Racing Network again. But I'm not going to keep you all here much longer. Again, if you are new and you're not subscribed, you can throw in a subscription. That'll help us grow. Always can't be taken back. More than 60% of the people that watch these aren't subscribed. Yes, I'm looking at you right now. I'm breaking the third wall. I can see you. Yeah, go hit that subscribe button. It's always free. You can always take it back. And always turn off notifications too. That's a good option. But I will roll this ad and I will let you all go.